we hit 3 wrecks in construction.
Oh,
It was 4. Yeah, on the way. I was like, we're never going to make it. So anyway, Sarah asked me to just do a business tip. So I put some things together, and I can tell you I get the question a lot, what's working for you? Give me one thing that's working for you, or any advice that's helping you. And the one thing that I can tell you that really sticks out and that I say every time is the word consistency. Consistency is doing things repetitively when it will result in making your business successful. So pretty much, I'll just give you a list of some things that you should do consistently. Number 1 is taking your products consistently. Number 1 sounds as simple as can be, but it is so important, because without taking your products consistently, you're not going to have the belief, you're not going to have the testimony. So it's... Okay, is that better? Sorry. Okay. So I could have just yelled. Okay, so take your products consistently. So simple, but so big and so important for your belief in the products and the company. Number 2 thing you should do consistently is inviting. Inviting is simply getting people to take a look at the business and at the products. It's, again, it sounds simple, and when I read the Eric Rory book, it really just like clicked in the head, like, are you serious? It's this simple. But yeah, you have to invite people to take a look at the products and take a look at our opportunity. If you're not practicing that skill, and if you're not doing that every day, then how are people going to know? They're not going to know unless you tell them. Sometimes just posting on Facebook is not enough. You have to invite them. So that's the second thing. Following up, again, something else, simple that we hear a lot, but it's so important. And something that always sticks in my head when I talk about following up is nobody cares what you know until they know you care. So that always stuck in my head from the beginning, but following up with people and showing them that you really care about them and their success, whether it's a customer or, an ambassador. So you want to follow up consistently. And one other thing that I'll talk about is posting on Facebook, because I'm a big Facebook person. If you know my story, you'll know that I'll say it's down to about 90% now. I've grown my business probably 90% on Facebook. And it used to probably be 95%, and now it's 90%, because I'm actually getting better at talking to strangers and, and doing the other route, because that's always been one of my weaknesses. And so that's something I'm working on. So I'll say about 90% of my business has been grown on Facebook. But if you want to grow your business using Facebook, which is so easy, because number 1, it's free. I mean, who doesn't want free advertisement? But you have to be consistent with sharing on Facebook. So some quick Facebook tips. 1 is you want to post on Facebook at least 2 to 3 times a day about Plexus. Okay? When people, I'll get the once a month posters or once a week posters, and they're like, okay, people are just not biting. And I'm like, well, if they don't see you posting consistently, then they're thinking this is not important to her. If it was, she'd be sharing it a lot more on Facebook. So I can tell you that for the last 3.5 years, if you scroll back 3.5 years on Facebook, you will see that I've posted every single day on Facebook about Plexus, something about Plexus. The number 2 thing when using Facebook is you want to be real. Anybody can go on Facebook and say, oh, I'm placing a Plexus order, or I have Plexus, or, anybody can post something like that. But if you really open up and you're real with your posts, this is what I think. If your post looks like an ad and it looks like buy from me, it's all about me, then you probably won't get much from it. But if it's just sharing information and sharing your personal testimony or other testimonies, or just being real, don't be scared to be real and open up, because people are attracted to real. They want to see real things that they can relate to. Another Facebook tip is to make sure, and this is something I'm really concentrating a lot lately, and a lot of people don't realize it, but you want to make sure that even your posts, okay, so besides just posting about Plexus, if you're using Facebook, you need to post other things, okay, right? Because you don't want it to be 100% Plexus. The other things you're posting on Facebook need to be interesting, okay? So how many people knew that? That they need to be interesting, not negative, but they need to be interesting. Here's why. if I'm posting on, so we have a news feed, okay? And that's what we see on Facebook, in our news feed. Well, Facebook kind of records what people do on Facebook. So if I go to Danielle's stuff and I'm constantly liking her stuff and constantly comment on her stuff, Facebook's memory realizes that I want to see her stuff. So even if it's not about Plexus, and if I post stuff that's interesting to where people will engage in my post, people will like my post, people will comment on my post, what does it tell Facebook? That they want to see my stuff. So it's going to keep me in their news feed. So not only are they going to see my non-Plexus post, but they're also going to see my Plexus post because Facebook knows they want to see my stuff. So when you're posting stuff that, I mean, like I said, be interesting. You don't want all kind of craziness, which, I mean, y'all know this, I don't want to preach to you, but you don't want all kind of craziness or drama or this or that on your Facebook, because most of the time people are going to be like, they're not going to like it, they're not going to want to follow. So that's something to always think about before you make a post. Is this post interesting? Is it uplifting? Is it motivating? Is it going to get people engaged? I see a lot of people posting stuff like, hey, you know, what's your plans for the weekend? Or what, you know, just simple stuff like that, because it's getting people engaged, it's getting people to comment on their stuff, and it's keeping your stuff in their feed. So that really makes a lot of sense when you start to think about it. When you're going to post about Plexus stuff, like I was talking about earlier, just like I said, you don't want to make it ads. You don't want to make it look like, you know, hey, buy from me. It's all about me. Just, I think Sarah Robbins says you want to post when a new ambassador joins your team. You could have them take a picture of themselves with their welcome kit, a funny picture, make it interesting, something people are going to remember. Post things when people get a new promotion, a new Lexus, a new, you know, different things like that. That are exciting. Testimonies. We have so many testimonies. So when I can't think of something, and normally I'm good, like I'll be anywheres and I'll think of something that I, you know, really want to, and I'll stop anywheres. My husband will be like, okay, it's time to get out the car, and I'm like, I'm typing up this good post, I have to finish, you know. But you want to just put things that are interesting and things that people can relate to. The testimonies, if I, like I said, if I can't think of, you know, if I don't have anything to share about my journey for that day, then they have so many testimonies that you can find and share that people can relate to. So that's pretty much it. You know, if you're going to use Facebook, use it, be smart about it, but everything you do in your business, from taking the products to advertising to attending meetings to inviting, everything you do, you have to be consistent, because if you're in and out and you're not consistent with it, then you're not going to see success until you become consistent. I try to post, like, I'll try to post in the morning, because I think, you know, this is what goes through my head. Okay, well, maybe people are getting ready for work, or they are on Facebook before work, so they might see it. I try to post sometimes around lunchtime, because I'll think, okay, maybe people are on their lunch break and they're scrolling through Facebook, and maybe in the afternoon after like 5, 6 o'clock, because then I'm thinking, okay, well, they're off of work, you know, or even maybe like at 9 o'clock, because, okay, now they have the kids down and things have settled down, supper's done, and now they might be scrolling through Facebook. So you kind of want to think about, you know, times like that when you think most people will be on Facebook. I want to say when they did like a study, it was like a Tuesday at a certain time, but I mean, I post all the time on Facebook, and I don't get hits every time I post on Facebook. I had somebody tell me that yesterday, like, well, I've been posting and I haven't got anything, and it's like, you're not going to get a hit on every single thing you post, you know, but people are watching. They are watching, and it might be that one thing that you post that will catch their eye, or, you know, that will make them want to contact you. But I mean, I have people who waited. I just posted on Facebook the other day, if you're my friend on Facebook, my best friend in the whole world, been friends since we were little. She just tried Plexus, okay, like last week, and she messages me and says, oh my gosh, this stuff is awesome. I see a difference already. I was like, I'm so calling you out on Facebook, and so I screenshotted her, you know, her text, and I posted on Facebook, and I was like, here's my BFF that waited 3.5 years to try Plexus, but look at the results she's getting. You know, it's day 2 and she's already getting results from it. So, yeah. No. No, and sorry, Plexus, sorry. I don't use the generated posts at all. I think that people want to see you posting and not just automating. Now, they have things where you can set up posting. Like I can say, I want some Facebook to post this for me at 2 o'clock today or 2 o'clock tomorrow and type out what I want and it'll set it to come at that time. But as far as like generating like the company generating things, I don't use those because I think people want to see real.
I will say too though, the My Plexus Builder, if you don't necessarily have it set to post, you still can go back into, it's still got great stuff in there, but I think what's better is to go in the back office on the My Plexus Builder tab, find either a picture that you like or a post that you want to have your website linked to, and go in and you can manually share it with your own. Hey, check out this testimony. Give it a little bit of a personal thing so that somebody doesn't just see a link.
Yeah, because they really do have good pictures back there, like this industry has this, but network marketing has, they really do have good pictures. I just mean you don't want to let it post manually for you because that's not you, right? You know?
If you're really busy, like you work a lot or you don't have the time that Alicen has or Purify, it's not a bad idea to let them do it for you, just go in and personalize it.
Personalize it, yeah. You can set it up to where, okay, on Tuesday at this time I wanted to post this, but type in the message, and then on Wednesday this time I wanted to post this, but you still want it to be from you. And I tell everybody that even if you work a job, have 5 kids, whatever, then you still have 2 minutes, at least 2 to 5 minutes a day that you can take out. And in 5 minutes I could post, I could do 5 different statuses, So you at least have that time it doesn't take long.
I did a really quick experiment, and I don't know how I did it, but I accidentally got my Plexus Builder to post to my Twitter, which then would kick it over to my business page because you can't post directly to your business page. The great thing about a business page for me was I could watch the insights. So I let it just daily kick out of my Plexus Builder post, and I had 0 engagement. Like 100 people had seen it. And then I did a personal post, and bam, there's 1,200 views, 1,500 views. So it was a really good indicator for me that people want to know you're behind it and you're sharing something from your heart. So
yeah, and when you think about it, if you have a friend that's always posting something interesting on Facebook, I know I won't just wait for their stuff to show up in my feed. I'll go search their name, just to see, what's so-and-so posted on Facebook, because it's interesting. So that's how you want your feed to be too, so that people want to go to your page and want to look at your stuff. And if they do, then they might see a Plexus post, then that's what you wanted. So
thank you, Alicen. Awesome. Okay. Sarah Marble, you post a picture of a clean living room, and they go wild. That's what I did today. Seriously, all I did was I got a new picture for my anniversary. I finally got my parents to come over and help me hang it up because it's like 5 feet long, and it's one of those, there's a hook over here and a hook over. So, new picture inspired me to clean up a few toys. And then the new toy, picking up the toys inspired me to fluff up a few pillows. And after the living room was done, I was like, wow, this is really awesome. So I took a picture of it and I posted it. And just somebody getting a peek into my living room, and you guys think I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. Just somebody getting a peek into my living room, within 3 seconds, somebody said, wow, your living room is awfully clean. So I commented too, you should see what's off camera, because that little view, yes it is, but we won't go, but I got 120 likes in less than 30 minutes. And do you want to know what I did right after that? I kicked out the event flyer for tonight because I had people checking in on my living room, giving me that thing. So it really is true. That's exactly right. They're like, oh my gosh, look, Sarah Marble picked up the toys off her floor and dusted. So yeah, so little things like that. I do think people like to know that you're a real person. Now, I've done that before with my kitchen table that had my laptop and piles of mail, and you couldn't see the kitchen table, and I just let them peek at, this is basically my regular look at my day. I'm sitting at my laptop and all of this mess, and that's just kind of how I function. That again was another interesting look into Sarah Marble's life, and everybody liked that. So yes, just not being all business, okay, well that person please stop talking about Plexus, but letting them see, that you're human, and for us mommies, the picture of the kids and what you're doing and all that can all work out pretty well. I think we have time for 2 or 3 questions, and then we'll take a little break before everybody starts coming in for the opportunity event too. But you guys think you've got a bunch of emeralds in the room and a few diamonds and some other